The Justinian plague was an epidemic that affected the Eastern Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire, including the city of Constantinople and other parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa between 541 and 549. Hi, my name is Delgado, and I'm going to talk you about the plague of Justinian. It is estimated that between 541 and 549, the world population lost between 25 and 50 million people. That is between 13 and 26% of the estimated population in the 6th century. According to available sources, the epidemic arose somewhere in East Africa, and from there it moved to Upper Egypt and the Mediterranean. One of the possible origins of the epidemic could be Rafta, in Tanzania, which is described as an important commercial enclave by the Greek geographer Claudio Ptolemy in the Periplus and the Erythraean Sea. The sources tell us that it was a prosperous commercial center that was dedicated to the trade in ivory, tortoise, shells, and reinforced horns. The city was near a river, not far from the sea. The epidemic was recurring around the ports of the Mediterranean until approximately in 750, causing a great impact on the history of Europe. Modern historians give it the name in reference to the Roman Emperor Justinian I, who then ruled the Byzantine Empire. The sociocultural impact in the Justinian period has been compared to the Black Death. The Black Death, also known as pestilencia of great mortality or the plague, was bubonic plague, pandemic occurring in Africa and Europe from 1346 and 1353, in the most fatal pandemic recorded in the human history, resulting in the deaths of from 25 to 200 million people. In Eurasia and North Africa, peaking in Europe from 1345 and 1351, this pest is caused by Bacterius Yersinia pestis, formerly known as Pasteurella pestis. Normally, this disease is transmitted from rodents to humans, and the black rat or ratus being transmission vehicle par excellence. The black rat is transmitting of bubonic plague. Due to this proximity to human habitats, normally the plague is transmitted from rats to human and sometimes between humans. Depending on the vector of contagion, this will be variant of bubonic plague and other. He related that were symptoms that patients had. At first was a high fever, inflammation of the mouth and throat, burning trees, and finally diarrhea. After 9 days of illness, rashes appeared in the skin that could turn into pustules. Thus, this pandemic was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. Studies of the identity of the vector causing the diseases began in 1988, when a group of biologists led by Michael Dancourt, Oliver Doctor, and Dina Rollo began to work together in archaeologists and historians. This research extracted DNA from the dental pool of cadavers from Marcella between 1950 and 1720. The Yersinia pestis is a primary pathogen that faltered anaerobic gram-negative from Yesis Yersinia, which causes pulmonary plaque, bubonic plaque, and also epidemic plaque in humans, although the latter is very rare. The pandemic spread through the Mediterranean ports that continued through European territory, reaching Denmark and the North Island and the West. One of the propagandas of epidemic was the black rat, which is a species that usually inhabits on places close to human activity, such as farms, warehouse, markets, sport, ships, and any type of city or town. This species is sometimes referred to as sheep rat or house rat. The pandemic moved to East Africa to the Byzantine Empire due to trade. It was luxury, object in high demand by Byzantine upper classes, with this product rating boards, toys, reliquaries, and other works of art were made. During the 6th century, the elephants of the Red Sea and Eritrea were practically extincted to the massive exploitation of previous centuries. But in Kenya and Tanzania, there were still abundant elephants, and therefore there were basic sources of quantities of ivory that the Empire recently required. The first outbreak will appear around 540 and 541, around the last until 577 and 548. Depending on the chronologies used to the date, the epidemic and the British itself is outbreak, always the most extensive and deadly, and therefore will affect Ethiopia, North Africa, eastern of Europe, the Persian Empire, the Byzantine Empire, and Yemen. These affected areas that will be Ethiopia and Yemen around the year 540 and later about an And this is all for my part. My name is Alan